What is going on, everyone? It is a week-ending episode of the Level 1 podcast, and today we got a nice loaded show, including my initial full thoughts on Pokemon Legends ZA after having played it for almost 4 hours yesterday and getting a good taste of what the game has to offer. In addition, we've got an update on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which has been a maybe for a game that I was going to cover next week, and some new features have been launched on YouTube that I'd like to explain. I think this may streamline the way that you can see information about what's coming up and stuff on the channel, and it may be a good benefit to you. Plus, weekending chill vibes, lots of fun and interaction. It's been a great week. I can't wait for more. The autumn is in full swing. We're halfway through October, and everything we're doing is great. Thanks for being here, and let's get started on this week-ending edition of the Level 1 podcast. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It is Friday, October 17th, 2025. I'm DSP, and this is the Level 1 podcast. Welcome. Nice chill show today. Lots of topics to discuss, updates on pretty much everything that we've been doing. Chill vibes, and Halloween is in full swing. We got some horror stuff going on later today, which is great. We got horror playthrough starting up next week, which I'm excited for. Everything's great, right? Like, if you take a look at everything that we've been working on, everything that we've been doing together, man, it's been a good variety of fun stuff. Yesterday was great. The premiere of Pokemon Legends ZA, we had great attendance and quite good support. Everything went well, and we got a great taste for what the game is. In fact, my background lighting today is in honor the original Pokemon, Red and Blue. I figured we'd have red on one side, blue on the other, in honor of Pokemon returning to my content. In addition to that, we've got Silk Song finally heading into Act 3. It only took like 50 hours, but I'm finally beginning the third and final secret act that apparently is awesome and really challenging. So I'm very excited for that. We've got new games on the horizon, and I got a determination regarding those new games next week based on some information that was released this morning. So we got a lot to talk about. We do. There's even some new stuff to talk about in regards to features on YouTube and the like. So it's going to be a good show. How is everyone this morning? How are you all doing? Let's say good morning to everyone who's here live. We've got Chris and Lilith, Kaio, Dab Hands, Velocity, Tobomaru, how are you? Uchan, what's going on? Let's see. We've got Maestro David, RGB Kings, Eddie Chill, who's here, Daily Demo, Recovering Detractor. It's good that you're in recovery. I'm glad to hear that. Username already exists, RGB Lover, and many more. How is everyone? Good morning, good morning. Original Grant, how are you? Good to see you. And the chill Halloween vibes continue. Keep in mind, guys, we're only 2 weeks away from my Halloween marathon. It's exactly 2 weeks away from today. Did you know that? That's right. So just so you know, this is your absolute last chance. If you wanted to nominate games for the Halloween marathon, do it now. All right? Type !Halloween into either chat, or if you are watching this on demand on YouTube, okay, there's a post that I made at the very beginning of the month that has the thread in it where you can nominate games or you can upvote nominations people have already been doing. Now, you might say, wait a minute. There's a post from the beginning of the month. How do I find it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have an update for you. This is kind of important. This is one of the first topics I wanted to cover today. YouTube has launched a new feature. The new feature is called the Creator Community. Is it really new? No. It's actually not new. okay? But what they've done is they have streamlined the way where you can now see the posts from a creator and you can see them all in a row and easy to access and easy to respond to, etc. Okay. So you might be saying, well, what do you mean? I'm going to show you right now because this literally is a brand new feature on YouTube that a lot of people don't know about. They just launched it within the last day. There's a new feature. You ready? On YouTube, it's called the Creator Community. How do you access this feature? I'll show you. This is the main channel page of DSP Gaming, as you can see. It's at youtube.com/DSP Gaming. That's right. My channel doesn't even have the address because my channel is so old. I held the original address and they never took it away from me. So I'm actually hard coded at DSP Gaming. Okay. So in regards to this new feature, you might say, well, what is it? It's right here. It says visit community. All right. So click on visit community. And what's going to happen is it's going to open up the DSP Gaming community. This is a brand new feature. All right. So what is this feature? Top, newest, and creator posts. Okay. Top is basically supposed to take things, as you can see, that were popular at one time, and it kind of sorts them. But I've been trying to figure this out. And every time I click top, it's completely different. So I honestly have no idea how this top tab works at all. It seems like it's not streamlined and doesn't really make sense how it works. Okay. Probably it's brand new and they have no idea what they're doing. Newest. What this is supposed to do is highlight the actual newest posts that have been put up on my channel. So as you can see, we've got the post for the stream this morning, last night's schedule, the schedule from the day before. I posted up to feature the latest DSP tries it and stuff like that. Okay. Creator post is just supposed to be my post. So you might say, well, I don't get it. What's the difference between newest and creator posts? Well, guess what? This is supposed to be a feature where you can post up. You can actually post up messages on this, and then it goes into like a review queue where YouTube reviews it, and then I review it, and then posts can be approved. So if you have something you want to say about my content that I've been doing lately, a suggestion for improvement, or you just want to say, hi, Phil, you can actually post up here on the creator community, okay? And it may not immediately go live because YouTube has all these protections in place to make sure people aren't trolling and stuff. But, relatively quickly, I'll review these every day. And we're going to actually have people's posts go up here. So people's posts will show up here in the newest tab. All of my posts will show up here. And then, again, I don't really understand how top works because, take a look. It's already different. So now it already changed what it just showed when we were just looking at top before, you see? So I don't know what their coding rationale is with the top thread there. But yeah, so this is brand new. This didn't exist before. Previously, everyone just went to the posts tab, but you couldn't post up. Now you can actually post up and be interactive with me and the community because people can actually respond to other people's posts and stuff like that. Okay? So it's a way to get in and talk with other people who like my content and to give feedback, to be, to basically have some discourse. All right. So it's up to you if you want to use it. You don't have to, but understand that everything will be, under review. It's not like immediately someone's going to start doing nasty stuff there. They can't. Okay. But the reason I'm really bringing this up is because now you can see all of my posts in one place, nicely sorted, and it's easy to find because it's right on this community tab. Again, just to show you where it is. There you go. Right here, visit community. Okay. And then you'll get right into the community. You can see all of that. Previously, you would just go to the posts tab, but this is a way to have some interactivity with it as well. Okay. So it's a new feature. I'm curious how this is going to go, to be honest with you. I don't know if people actually will want to post in there or not. Someone just said, can you pin a post? Are you ready for this? No. They still have not added the feature to pin a post because you're right. I would like to pin important posts. Imagine if I could have taken that Halloween post to nominate Halloween games and pinned it so it was the top all month. Can't do that. It's too complex for YouTube to code. Okay. But to show you what I was talking about, if you go all the way down to the beginning of October, okay, here it is. This was the post I put up first day of October. for you guys to nominate Halloween games. We had 103 responses, and tons of people thumbed up games that people had already nominated. So if you have not nominated yet, now is your last chance to do so. Please nominate the games you want to see for Halloween, or upvote the games you want to see that have already been nominated, because next week I'll be tallying up your results to let you know if there's going to be a final poll, or if we're just going to pick the games that were most nominated and just roll with those. All right. But we'll finally get to start hype for Halloween, because we'll know what's going to happen on the Halloween Marathon 2 weeks from today. Exactly 2 weeks from today, on October 31st. It's a Friday. Okay, guys? Cool. All right. So, new feature. Visit the community here on DSP Gaming. Yes, you can post up. There's a review process to get your post showing publicly. So understand, if you break the rules, you do something nasty, you're doxing, you're going to get removed and banned. But, for the most part, it'll be a cool way to get people to actually interact and give feedback and the like. But also, it's a focal point where you can actually find all of my posts, including my daily schedule updates, links to the streams, highlights of important videos, etc. Okay? Cool. Excellent. All right. Good stuff. There you go. Pepsi fan says that's what YouTube's best at. Make something that used to be 1 click, now 3. Exactly. Because again, it's not really a new feature. All they did is they integrated the ability to make your own posts with mine. So now you can post, I can post. It's a little bit of interactivity, which I like. Like, I'll enjoy reviewing every day and seeing if people are actually posting up positive stuff or not. That'll be pretty good. I would like to do a brief segment talking about Pokemon, because yesterday we played the brand spanking new Pokemon Legends ZA. And I had a great time with it. However, before we get to that, I want to show you something really cool. Something that someone made for me. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I definitely want to highlight it today. You ready for this? Here is my history with Pokemon as a creator on YouTube. Take a look. My very first content featuring Pokemon was in November of 2014. It was on the Nintendo 3DS, which I actually had a capture device installed in. And we did a full playthrough of Pokemon Omega Ruby at that time. You'd even have to see, that was my starter Pokemon. Now, I don't remember what that Pokemon was called, but that was my first ever Pokemon experience as a creator. Previous to that, I had only played one other Pokemon game, and that was Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy Pocket. Then the next Pokemon game that I played was actually Pokken Tournament, which is a Pokemon fighting game that I actually played on the Nintendo Wii U. Shockingly, the game was pretty good and actually had some pretty good online connections. That was in 2016, as you can see. Then the next experience was later that year, another full-on Pokemon game, Pokemon Moon. Remember this one? Remember the seal? What was this guy's name? Poplio. I can't believe I remember that. Poplio from almost, 9 years ago. There you go. Then, the first, I would argue, real major mainstream Pokemon playthrough that I did, because this was actually on a main console, the Switch, was Pokemon Sword. And if you remember, this one was full 3D, meaning it wasn't just top-down Pokemon like the classics, but this one was actually roaming a 3D world. This one actually had the wild zones where you could catch all the Pokemon, and the Pokemon would change during the time of day, which ones you could fight and catch during those times. And it was the first one, in my opinion, that had modernized graphics. So, first real console, because the other, Omega Ruby and Moon had been on the 3DS. Then we had new Pokemon Snap a couple years later. Not to say that this is really a mainstream Pokemon game, but they made an attempt to make another Pokemon Snap. It didn't do so well, actually. But, it was a fun playthrough for what it was, pretty short. Then we did Pokemon Legends Arceus. And now this was definitely a big departure from Pokemon, because it was completely open world roaming. It was riding Pokemon, all over the place, up mountains, through the air, through the water, in order to do traversal, open combat in the, in this open world. And unlike the other Pokemon games, in this case, you could catch Pokemon without ever fighting them. You could actually just hit them with the Pokeballs and capture them instantly. And this was the first game where you could actually do that. Okay? Then there was Pokemon Scarlet in 2022. And you remember Scarlet, again on the Switch. an outstanding game when it came to the plot, when it came to the gameplay elements. It ran horribly. It looked terrible. I couldn't believe how bad it was, quite frankly. Like, to be a Switch exclusive and run like crap on the console it's an exclusive to was a joke. But everything else about the game was outstanding, and we had a really great playthrough of that. And then, of course, now, the more modernized Pokemon playthrough, Pokemon Legends ZA, on the Switch 2, now with, updated graphics, gameplay elements, etc. All right? Charizard for Life says, didn't you not finish Scarlet and Arceus? No, I finished both games. I didn't complete the Pokedex. I actually completed the Pokedex in Sword, but I did not complete the Pokedex in Arceus or Scarlet, mostly because, interest fell off. And that's what's sad is I really like these games. I find them as chill, interactive fun, okay? I do. I think that Pokemon has a really awesome place in my history as content, where these are streams where we can come in and interact, hang out, talk about other stuff, but also you guys can hang out with me and talk about Pokemon and help me to understand the gameplay and the elements, how to catch the rare Pokemon, etc. But man, sometimes the interest falls off because they are so lengthy. And I think that's what it is Pokemon games being lengthier playthroughs and RPG style that sadly, they don't really have that longevity factor like other playthroughs can. So like Sword, I kept playing over and over until we did the whole Pokedex. But the other two, the interest fell off, so I just beat the base games, and that was it. So there you go. So anyway, that was really cool that someone sent me that. Thank you so much to the person who did. My history with Pokemon and all the starter Pokemon. Oh, by the way, one other thing I wanted to point out. Take a quick look at this. So in Omega Ruby, my starter Pokemon was water. In Moon, my starter Pokemon was also water. In Sword, it was fire. In Arceus, it was also fire. In Scarlet, it was back to water. And so yesterday, when I played Pokemon Legends ZA for the first time, and people were like, oh, you picked your starter Pokemon, I was like, wait a minute. Have I never picked the plant style ever? Or it's really grass type, right? And I was thinking, I was like, I never did. I never picked a grass type starter. That's crazy. So I did. And then it just so happens I was right. I must have a good memory. I've always done water or fire. So there you go. And that was fun to do that and finally have a new starter for the first time in ever. Never picked that before. For the record, my very first ever experience with Pokemon, which was Pokemon Blue, it was Squirtle, because Squirtle was the starter Pokemon in Pokemon Blue. So my first ever Pokemon was actually a water type. Okay, so let's talk Pokemon Legends ZA. What are my initial impressions after having played it for nearly 4 hours yesterday? It's terrible. It's awful. Oh my God, run for the hills. Don't play it. I'm just kidding. All right. The good news is it's not horrible. It's not terrible. And it looks like Game Freak did actually learn a bit from their previous mistakes with Pokemon Scarlet. Notably, at least on the Switch 2. Okay? It runs well. With one key flaw. Pop-in. I just don't get it. It's 2025. Again, this game, it's only on Nintendo consoles. It's not like it's cross-platform and they have to try to find a way to make it run on a bunch of consoles. I don't understand why in 2025 they can't make this game run better. Why is there pop-in? Seriously, I want to know. I just don't get it. Literally, when you start the game, you step off of a train. Okay? You turn to look at all the people lined up on the train platform. They're like, oh, wait a minute, the frame rate's good. And I started controlling the game. I'm like, oh, look, I could spin, and I could see 60 frames as I'm moving. This is a great start, because Scarlet wasn't. Scarlet was choppy as hell. And then you immediately, as you're doing this frame rate test, you turn towards the crowd standing on the platform, and half of the crowd disappears. Like, right before your eyes, they fade out and vanish. And so you start looking around, you're like, is Thanos around? Is he finger snapping again? And then all of a sudden, they all reappear again. Now you haven't moved. You haven't even taken a step. This is the first experience you get playing Pokemon Legends ZA. The first thing you see in the game when you can control your character. No one thought to test it, to see if this is acceptable or stupid and laughable. It really is a joke. I'm laughing at it. I'm like, I can't believe this shit, you know? So you start walking down the platform, and I'm not kidding. People disappear and reappear. Pokemon disappear and reappear. Like, what is happening? I don't even know what the formula is they're using because some characters disappear as you get closer. How does that make sense? The idea of pop-in is that, objects in the environment will load and pop in as you get closer to them. Why are they disappearing when you get closer? I don't get it. All right? The good news is, once you actually get off that train platform and you start playing the main game, at least the way that they've designed the game, even though there's pop-in, it's really well hidden. Like, you don't really notice it in the environment once you start playing. So it doesn't really affect the game from what I've seen. And from what I understand, the vast majority of the game takes place inside of a city. So because of that, it's confined to one city. It's kind of like Attack on Titan. Can't leave the city. Don't take a step out of there, So because of that, it seems like the pop-in won't be a big deal because you're never going to have to see, like, way out in the distance. You know what I'm saying? If you were outdoors in a giant open world, then you'd be like, oh, I'm constantly noticing this issue. But I think they designed it purposefully so you won't notice the pop-in. CMB also made a good point. He says, you also don't notice it because the city has like 10 NPCs. Right, the city's not densely populated. As you're walking through the streets, there are NPCs, but it's kind of like sparsely populated, so it's not a big deal where you're going to notice that people are just disappearing, reappearing constantly, okay? So, the game is basically you're walking through the city, and there's like 3 phases. There's story phases where you're just going to be doing cutscenes and exploring and gathering items. Then there's nighttime battle phases, where at night the streets get populated with people who are like trainer duels. And then there are the wild zones, which are in the city. I know that sounds weird. Wild entails that it's out in the wild. Well, it's not in this game. The wild zones are in the city. They're actually like little public parks that are set apart. And when you walk in there, all the Pokemon are wild and attacking you. So you could choose to try to catch them with the Pokeball, duel them if you want to level up your Pokemon. There's options you can do. So this game is actually a lot of exploration, a lot of climbing ladders, platforming, grabbing hidden items, trying to catch Pokemon from behind because it's easier to catch them with Pokeballs from behind. And there's certain Pokemon that are kind of hidden and hard to catch, but they're actually really good Pokemon. For example, I found an Abra, but the Abra basically has a line of sight to you, so there's no way to really catch it because it disappears when you get close. But I then later found out there was a back way to climb up a building and get to the side of it, and then you could throw a Pokeball over a wall from the side of it and hit it from an angled behind catch and catch the Abra that way. And as of now, Abra is the most overpowered Pokemon in the game. I leveled it up, it evolved to Kadabra, and it's one-shotting everything. So I was like, oh, I think that's the point, was that it was a hidden Pokemon. It was meant to be hard to catch, and now you get rewarded for figuring out how to do it, okay? So, I'm having a good time with the game so far. The only bummer is the game just has a really long intro, okay? Really long intro. We're 3.5 hours in. We're not done with the intro of the game yet, okay? So we still have a ways to go. Today on the stream, we are going to finish the intro. I'm told probably another half an hour. And then finally you get into the part of the game where you can choose to do whatever you want. You can wander around. You can do, the story. So we're going to get to that today. All right. And I'm happy that we're getting to that today. So it should be exciting and fun and chill and good stuff. I will give you more information and more opinions on this game as we get further in. It's very hard to form a concrete opinion about a game when you're still in the intro. I don't know what other elements and things are going to be introduced today, but so far, the major difference I'm seeing is the entire game is action combat based. What does that mean? It means it's no more turn-based combat at all. As soon as you get into a fight, your Pokemon are dueling, and you have like options. You have your 4 actions that are available right from the get-go. Pick one right away. And then there's a cooldown for it to recharge, but you can immediately pick the other 3. It's not like, oh, it's turn-based. You go, then they go, then you go, then they go. No. Now it's attack, shit, go. Okay, fire breath. Leer. Oh crap. Poison sting. Oh, blah, blah. You just got to keep going. It's almost like a button masher in a way because you're just mashing and you're waiting the ability to be ready. Like, come on, come on. It's very different. It feels dramatically different from previous Pokemon games, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad. Exactly. It's like an MMO. The block said it sounds like an MMO. You're right. That's actually how it plays. This Pokemon game plays like an MMO. So, will that be good or bad in the long run? I don't know. It's certainly different, and it does feel kind of refreshing. It's not the same Pokemon formula you've seen forever, but at the same time, will it hold up? That's an interesting question, right? So, we'll find out today and further as we continue on with this playthrough. As of now, it will stay a day stream, but it's going to become a night stream as well at some point, I'm sure. We have multiple new releases next week coming out that likely are going to take up some other day stream time. But we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for more today. I hope that you guys are going to stick around and hang out with me with more Pokemon today. It was a great stream yesterday. Chill vibes, actually great engagement and great support. I hope that we can replicate that today to end the week. Okay? Speaking of which, what a great week. I mean, this week was outstanding, was it not? We did so many fun things. We checked out Battlefield. We found out it's probably not for me, and basically only trolls want to see me play it, so we dropped it like a hot rock. And instead of focusing on that crap, we decided to do fun stuff like major progress in Silk Song, right? Trying out Pokemon. We had some American Truck Simulator chill, and we had some random fun nights playing indie horror games, which will continue tonight. So let's actually talk about that. Today will be more Pokemon right after this podcast ends. And then on the late stream tonight, around 7 p.m. Pacific time, it is more Steam indie horror action. We're actually going to be playing this game called Deadwood because someone actually donated it to me. And I said, I'll check it out. Sounds good to me. In addition, there's other games that we will either play or maybe we'll go back to some of the ones you guys liked. Like people are asking me to go back to that game. No, I'm not a human and stuff like that. So tonight we're just going to have chill fun with horror stuff on the late stream. It's very seasonal. It should be a good time. I hope you'll join me for that to end the week. Okay. Now, let's talk about next week. All right. Let's talk about next week because next week there's a multitude of new games coming out. On Monday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time, Ninja Gaiden 4 is releasing. I am playing Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm going to play it on my late stream on Monday night. Okay, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good. I hope that you guys will join me for that. And hopefully it's a great game and people will care. I hope. So that playthrough begins Monday night. Okay? On Thursday, which I know is a weird day, but it is. It's Thursday this one comes out, the 23rd. It is Tormented Souls 2. For those who don't know what this is the sequel to Tormented Souls, a throwback title from a few years ago that basically is an homage to the classic survival horror games, such as the classic Resident Evils, the classic Silent Hills, etc. It's got, key puzzles, survival horror inventory management, and resource management. It's got tank-style controls when it comes to combat. It feels like a new edition of classic Resident Evil in a way. And I loved Tormented Souls 1. I did have some issue with a few things in it. For the most part, I thought it was an outstanding game. Okay? I had a great time with it, and I can't wait to play the sequel. It's absolutely perfect for this season. Okay? So, definitely going to be playing Tormented Souls 2 come next week. So, that's the 2 guaranteed new games next week. But the question that we had was, what else should I play? Well, I just hit Act 3 in Silk Song. We are absolutely playing that next week. I actually can't wait. People are saying it's the best part of the game, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the enemies and the story and bosses and everything. It looks like the whole world has changed, so it should be great. I can't wait to do that. It's actually the main stream on Sunday. I can't wait to play that again, okay? Now, Mario Galaxy 2. I've absolutely been enjoying this game. I have. I think I want to say we're 6 to 7 parts into it. And I've been enjoying my stay with the game. People are saying I'm about a third in, because I guess there's like 240 stars and I have over 80 right now. So I'm about a third into it. I guess the game's between 20 to 30 hours long. Wow, that's a really long Mario game. Holy crap. So I'm liking it. And I said to everyone, well, here's the thing. Dependent on how many new games we play, I might have to put the playthrough on hiatus, okay? So that's a maybe for next week. I like the game and I'd like to keep playing it, but I don't see how I can keep playing it at the rate I am when we have all these new games coming out. American Truck Sim, we will keep doing once a week as long as you guys keep showing up to support it. You definitely did last week, so we're gonna play it again. Uh, this time Sunday night. I hope you'll be here Sunday night for it. So that's coming up. So just think about everything I just said. We got Pokemon, we got Silk Song, we definitely have Ninja Gaiden 4, and we definitely have Tormented Souls 2, and we have the maybe of Mario Galaxy 2 continuing. So you might say, well, didn't you mention another game? Wasn't there another game coming out that you had said that you were interested in? Yes. So the other night, we were looking at various different game trailers, and the suggestion came up of a game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I didn't even know this game was coming out. We looked at the trailer and watched it, and from what we saw in the trailer, it looked like this game was essentially Dishonored, but with vampires. Supernatural element and plot, gore, and supernatural powers. But has that first-person RPG exploration feel. Deus Ex, Dishonored, that kind of a feel, okay? At first glance, the game looked good to me. I was like, oh, it actually looks like it might have potential to be a good game. Maybe this is something we should play. And we talked about it as a maybe. It actually comes out on Tuesday. It is a full retail price game, although they're charging $60 instead of 70, which a lot of publishers are doing. So we talked about it, right? And basically what I said was, I want to have a wait and see attitude. I don't want to commit to playing it. At the same time, I don't want to say no, but I'm interested. I want to see what other people have to say about it. Well, the reviews came out today, and to be honest, guys, they're far from stellar, okay? The reviews have a consensus. The story is good. The gameplay elements are kind of blah. It's kind of a slog of a game. It gets boring. It's not that interesting to play. It's that interesting to experience. So, basically, watch someone else play it. Don't play it yourself. All right? Now, here's the thing. Right now, if we were in a situation where my schedule was way more open and there wasn't so much else going on right now, maybe we needed a new game for the rotation. We were desperately looking for one to fill that gap. I think a game about vampires, monsters, demons in an open world roaming RPG environment would probably, I don't know, hit the spot. But the thing is, right now, we got Pokemon, we got Mario Galaxy, we got Silk Song, we're about to have Ninja Gaiden 4, and we're about to have Tormented Souls 2 all in the rotation. So I really feel like if I were to start playing this game, all right, two things would happen. Number one, anyone who likes the game would end up complaining, I'm not playing it enough and giving it enough attention because I'm playing too many other games. And number two, everyone else who wants to see the other games would complain, why in the holy hell did I randomly pick this game out of the blue to start playing it? Why aren't I playing the other games that everyone wants to see more? And to be honest, I think both sides would actually have a point. I'm not saying that this game isn't good or might not work for my style of content, but right now with my scheduling and the things that we're already committed to and interested in doing, I don't think it makes sense to get this game. And the fact that the reviews are less than stellar. Like maybe if all of a sudden every single outlet was out there was like, oh my God, shocker, Bloodlines 2 is game of the year. Can't believe how good this game is. It's a must play. I'd be like, all right, you know what? Fair enough. Let's do it. Maybe instead we don't play Ninja Gaiden 4 or we skip, we drop something else. We drop Mario and we do that instead. You know what I mean? But in this case, it's kind of the opposite. People are like, it's kind of like a filler game. It's not that entertaining to play. So I'm like, you know what? I probably don't think I should play it. All right. Now, maybe I'll regret this choice, but I'm just going with my gut. I think that focusing on the other things that we were already excited for is probably the way to go here, rather than jumping headfirst into something that was uncertain and we weren't even sure that we wanted to play, right? That's my take. I don't think we're doing it. I think instead what we will do is focus on Pokemon, Mario, Silk Song, and then when Ninja Gaiden comes out, that'll be in the mix. And then when Tormented Souls comes out, that'll be in the mix, and we'll focus on all of those. Okay? Does that sound like a good idea? For the most part, it seems like people are agreeing with me in chat. So at least the people who are here are like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. If you were someone who wanted to see Vampire the Masquerade, I'm sorry. But, the thing is, again, it's the timing too. Like, why would you release this game in the midst of so many other games? When they should have done it is they should have done it like right at the beginning of the month before all this other stuff started hitting. and it probably would have had a better chance, but we're now putting it in the midst of everything. I mean, even just next week, there's even more games coming out. It's pretty crazy. So, sorry, but, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing that. Okay? Okay. Looks like our first tip of the day came in. $4.20 tip from Anonymous. All right, thank you. Hold on, my animations page has crashed and is reloading. Here we go. Thank you very much for an Anonymous 420 tip, whoever that was. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so we talked about the community tab, we talked about Pokemon, and we talked about Vampire the Masquerade and that I'm not going to be playing it. I've pretty much covered my 3 major topics that I wanted to cover on today's show. So now we got to talk about the topic that's way more important than any of those things that I didn't get to yet. Money! Let's get some support for the show. Let's get some subs over on Kick. Let's get some super chats on YouTube. Let's get some bits. Now we're going back in time. Let's get some kicks. Let's get some memberships. Let's get some tips. Let's get support rolling for the show. If you like Pokemon, support the channel. If you like horror, support the channel. If you don't like Pokemon, still support the channel. Let's go. We're at 4 out of 10 goals hit. 6 to go for DSP Tries It, the new Frank's Red Hot menu at Taco Bell. Now, as a follow-up to this, I actually found out there's another new menu item at Taco Bell. I didn't even know. They're calling it the Flamin' Hot Burrito. No, it's the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. So there's a grilled cheese style burrito that has Flamin' Hot Fritos in it. That's a new item. There's also the brand new Frank's Red Hot Diablo Burrito. There's also the new Frank's Red Hot Loaded Fries. So this new Taco Bell DSP Tries It coming up, we'll be trying all 3 of those new items. That's exciting, is it not? I know you're excited. I know you want it. So let's get some support rolling in for it right now. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. Right now. I think the internet might be down or something. The delay. Can you guys even see me? It's ridiculous. Wow. Well, in all good nature here. All right. Without jest. Support today would be appreciated. We had a great Pokemon stream yesterday where we hit the goal, and I was like, wow, I'm thrilled for the beginning of Pokemon being support. So how it works is this simple. When I'm playing Pokemon, now we have a whole large group of Pokemon that I've recruited. If you would like to, for $20, and this could be anything. It could be Super Chat. It could be a tip. It could be 4 subs on Kick. It could be 7 memberships on YouTube. Okay, for $20, you get to permanently name a Pokemon, and I will use that Pokemon for that particular stream in my team. Okay? So $20, not only do you get to permanently name a Pokemon that I have in the playthrough, but I'll also use them on that stream. Okay? So think about it. When I boot the game up, you'll see I have a bunch of Pokemon we caught. Today we're going to catch a lot more. That's not bad at all. Okay? Remember, these Pokemon playthroughs end up being very, very long and lengthy, and usually we get to see these characters for a long time. Sometimes the Pokemon gets retired, but then brought back and evolved, and I use them again. So it's always cool to get in early. If you want to get in early on this playthrough, now would definitely be the time to name a Pokemon early on, because you get to see them a lot, okay? There we go. Exactly. For $20, you can be a part of history. You're actually a part of a playthrough that thousands of people will view over time. Just think about all the different people who have named my Pokemon in the last several Pokemon playthroughs, and then all the people who went and watched the playthrough after that and got a good laugh out of it, right? There you go. Be a part of YouTube history. Be a part of an epic playthrough. Support YouTube today. Support Pokemon today. Tobamaru, our first real super chatter of the day with a 10 euro super chat, says, beep boop, I'm AI. All right, let's take a look here. That is $11.67. Thank you, Tobamaru. That's why I wanted to do it, because I wanted to be sure to get him on the leaderboard properly, because he is the top super chatter of the day. Excuse me. I basically covered all my topics that I wanted to talk about. So FYI, today it's Pokemon and chill horror games on the late stream. I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off for the week. I come back on Sunday, and it's going to be another podcast and a major stream of Silk Song where we're finally in Act 3, and we get to see all the new crazy stuff going on in Act 3. I'm very excited for that. I think that's going to be an awesome stream. Hope you guys will be here for that. And then Sunday night is our weekly American Truck Sim fun stream. And then I think we're doing more Pokemon on Monday, and we're pairing that with Ninja Gaiden. Okay? Cool. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have covered all of the stuff I wanted to talk about. Therefore, let's open up this show to conversation. I just typed into the chats. If you guys want to tag me and talk, tag me in the chats. Let's see what you guys want to chat about for a bit. Get some Q&A flowing to end the week, some chill vibes. All right? I am doing good, Static Void. Thank you for asking. Actually, I'm very excited, and here's why. It's finally autumn. Now, you might say, but it's been autumn for like almost a month. You're right. But it hasn't been autumn weather. It's finally autumn weather. It's cool. It's cloudy. It's wet. It's very nice. This is perfect streamer weather. If it stays like this for the next week, I can finally convert over from my summertime attire to my actual like fall clothing, where I can wear like long pants and long sleeve button down shirts and pullovers and things like that, which I love for this time of year. But it's been too warm. It's literally been way too warm. Finally, we are getting actual autumn weather. Yeah, wow, every day it's actually going to be rain, clouds, and cool temperatures. I'm loving it. So I think this next week, particularly, finally getting into the autumn spirit is going to be awesome. Finally. By the way, shout out to Nurse Harley, who just became a member of the channel. Thank you to Nurse Harley for that. You're our first member of the day, so let's get you up on the leaderboard. Where's Jasper? He is in the house, out and about, running around, enjoying the fall. Like I've told you guys, number one, he loves the cooler weather. We open up the windows and get fresh air in the house, and he loves that over... He very much likes fresh air versus air conditioning. Air conditioning keeps the house cool, but the air, it's stuffy. He likes the fresh air coming in. So sometimes we open a window, he gets the zoomies. He starts running around the house going crazy. But in addition, we just put a new set of sheets on the bed. They're flannel sheets, and he loves these flannel sheets. They're like comfy for him. So he's snuggling on the sheets. He's crawling under the sheets. Then he gets hyper. Then he jumps around the house. He just flips off the walls. He's going crazy right now. He's loving the fall. So Jasper's great. And of course, you'll see him later on, I should say early next week on usually on the podcast and or in the morning portions of the streams. Shout out to Supportive Support. Supportive Support did 2 100 kicks. Thank you, Supportive Support, for that. We're now up to $25 of support and climbing. Thank you so much. Really? That's not good news. Dabhand says, Nintendo confirmed there are no link cables as items in Pokemon ZA, so Alakazam is a no-go. The only way I'd be able to evolve Kadabra is to actually trade with someone and trade back. That is complete ass. Incredibly stupid. So, yeah, I guess he's going to be stuck as Kadabra, and we're going to have to find a better Psychic Pokemon. I love work. Just did a 100 kicks. Thank you so much. You love work. Appreciate that very much. No, I'm not playing Arc Raiders. I do not care about extraction shooters. I've never played one before, and I likely won't again. Yes, I know McDonald's currently has a Japan-only, Street Fighter collab meal. Japan only. Why? Because they're stupid. They think that Street Fighter isn't good in the United States or something. They're morons. I think a Street Fighter collab meal would do incredibly well in the United States, and I'd be all over it. But it's only in Japan right now, so we can't get it. Hopefully, they will eventually bring it over here. Really, Marvel Rivals is having their first ever PvE mode against zombies on October 23rd. Would I play it? No. No one seems to care about Marvel Rivals. I loved playing it back in December and January, and I got no engagement, no support, no views. Everyone complained it was boring, and I said, well, then I'm not playing it. Now, if you guys nominated that mode for me to play during the Halloween marathon as a segment during that marathon, then I would be like, okay, yes, let's do it. But I'm not going to stream it otherwise. Let's talk about the value of gold and silver. No. We will not do that. When are fighting games coming back? When a new fighting game releases. And a new fighting game releases on Thursday, October 30th. It's called the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and we will be starting with that and seeing how it goes. There's a lot of games in that collection, so we'll try them out. Do I think a horror game based on Pokemon could work? Well, here's the thing. Pokemon is kids rated, right? Like everyone. Can you do horror when it's E for everyone? If they could find a way to pull off horror without gore, without swearing, without the threat of murder, which isn't E for everyone, then I guess yes, but I don't know how you could do that. Horror is supposed to be adult-oriented. There's the threat of danger, the supernatural, murders, and things like that. You know, there's supposed to be a threat. Threats are not E for everyone. So I don't know how they could pull that off. Yes, I played Dragon's Dogma 1. Did a full playthrough of the game. I tried Dragon's Dogma 2. It failed miserably. No one liked it, so I stopped playing it. Am I ordering a orange vanilla cream soda freeze with the Frank's Red Hot menu? No. I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't know they have that, but it doesn't sound good. Do I like See's Candy in its stores? How do they get the air so clean and fresh in there? I don't know why you're bringing that up, but I've been to See's Candy before. My wife and I have gone there, and what it is, it's like handcrafted gourmet chocolates and all kinds of other candy that you can get. Usually, if my wife and I go there, which is rare, maybe once a year, we go in there and we actually buy like a box. I forget if it's like a pound or half-pound box. I don't remember, but you could pick the kinds you want right out of the case, and they put them in a box for you. And it's really good. The candy is really high quality. Oh, this is hilarious. I love that RTU style mic lean. No, that is not an RTU style mic lean. It's my mic lean. RTU literally copies everything he does off of me. You know that, right? Like I've been noticing increasingly more and more that there's a particular group of streamers that watch my content and then they emulate a lot of the shit that I do and then they try to make it their own. But it's funny because you know it's from me. Half the shit that Rich does is my shit. He just bites it right off of my shit because he watches my content constantly. The truth is, okay, if you watch someone enough and you obsess about someone enough, you're going to assimilate stuff. You just are. That's a matter of fact. That's why when I started becoming a YouTuber and I started making my own content, I said, man, I got to stop watching AVGN. I got to stop watching Nostalgia Critic because if I watch their stuff, I'm going to start integrating their stuff into mine. And then it's going to become, I'm copying other people. I don't want to do that. I want to originate for myself. So I stopped actually watching other creators so that I could be original. And so a lot of the shit that you see over the years is my own original memes and shit that we come up with together. But these motherfuckers, they watch my shit every day or clip the clips of it. And then they just bite here. They take this saying that I have. They take this mannerism that I have. Oh, look, Phil did an improvement to his setup. I'll do that too. Oh, look, Phil's doing this. I'll do that now. They're pathetic. They don't have an original fucking thought in their head. Pathetic people, you know. I mean, they're clowns. I mean, people come here to watch me for two reasons. All right. Number one, because I'm a legacy creator and a lot of people are like, wow, he's still around. Let's give him a look and see what the heck he still does. And number two, for people who genuinely like original, honest coverage of games, chill vibes, and good times. Now, there is another group of people that watch me, but they don't watch me here. They watch me on other channels, so we don't even have to fucking talk about that. Okay? The reason people actually go to watch a guy like Review Tech is just to laugh. They just point and fucking laugh. Like, there's literally no legit fans. It's just people pointing and laughing and saying, look at this clown. He'll do anything. He'll suck cucumbers. He'll take his shirt off. He'll do ASMR. He'll do whatever. That's him and his content. You know, it's pretty pathetic. The other thing that I don't get are the people who entertain their trolls and take money from them. I just don't understand that. Like, you might as well just sit inside of the dunk tank, right? And just let people pelt you, throw the softballs and keep dunking you all day. Yeah, I don't care. That's what I say. Like, people are like, well, you should turn on text to speech and you should do this and do that. No, I'm not stupid. I don't want that element on my stream. That element can go elsewhere to other toxic shit. I don't want that here. Okay? But That's what I mean. Like, a lot of these people can only even make ends meet because they accept the troll donations because they're so fucking desperate. I don't need that, thankfully. I can sit here and legit have people who like my content support it. And thank you for that. Thank you. I want to say thank you because you guys are the reason why I can actually make a decent, honest living being a positive person. Okay? Yes, I have my Halloween costume. I'm currently looking for one final component because there was one piece of the costume I particularly didn't like that much. And I'm going to see what I can find. But the thing is, I actually have to get out to Halloween stores. I was looking online. I couldn't really find anything. I was like, oh, shit. So I got to see what they have. Maybe I can get something better at the store. So I got a couple of weeks to do that, to make that happen. If not, well, I'm just going to roll with what I've got. It won't be the best costume, but I think it's going to be still entertaining and funny. So, see, I don't know. I Can't Tip says, is this Pokemon only having this city as the map a letdown? I don't know because we're only 3 hours in. Well, 3.5 hours in. We're not even through with the tutorial yet. Is it true you can't leave the city? Is it true the entire game is in the city? I don't know that. And I don't know how they're going to have it be implemented. Is it going to feel within a few hours like you're too confined and it's boring? Or did they put enough in the game that it feels good? I don't know. Can't answer that question yet. We have to get further in. Oh, let's see here. Someone tipped $1, says, do you think June the King has legit fans, or do people just want to hear news of random people that he's covering? Also, I hope you're enjoying Legends ZA. I've been having a ton of fun catching and battling and styling my character. There's a side quest to get a guaranteed shiny Pokemon. I've heard that there's a change. I don't know if Pokemon fans are going to like this change or not, that once a shiny Pokemon appears, it stays there permanently. It doesn't despawn, and you can try as many times as you want to catch it, which I say, for someone who doesn't have a lot of time, that's great. But for people who like shiny catching, maybe they're going to be like, oh, you made it too easy now. So it's not even a challenge anymore. So what's the point? I guess we'll have to see. As for June the King, I believe that there probably are people in both camps of what you just mentioned. There may be people who only watch June the King because all they care about is the drama of his documentaries. They don't necessarily care about the quality of his work, but just the fact that he's covering and spilling the tea on these people on the internet, right? On the same time of that, I do believe that there's people who do like June the King for the quality of his work. I think that his documentaries are high quality. I mean, I haven't seen one in a year, but the ones that I've seen always seem high quality. The voiceover works great. The research done is done well. It's good quality stuff. So it's probably a combination of both. Like, I bet June the King could make a documentary that's not drama and people would still watch it because his documentary quality is good. I don't think that people are only watching his videos because of the drama aspect. Okay? As for people are bringing out Dead Space 4. So here's what's going on with Dead Space 4, because there seems to be some misinformation about this. Okay? Let's actually cover this story properly, which is what a lot of media is not doing right now. Okay? So let's be clear. Dead Space was a survival horror series made by a company called Visceral Games. Okay? Visceral Games was owned by EA, Electronic Arts. They made 3 of these and a bunch of spin-offs. When it was popular, the spin-offs actually did well, and the main games did well. All right? After Dead Space 3, okay, basically the games fell off, meaning Dead Space 3 did not sell to expectations, and then the series was put on a hiatus. During that time frame, EA decided to completely fire/lay off, or, whatever you want to say. They closed the studio, Visceral Games. They just closed it entirely. So all those people no longer work for EA. They went off to do their own thing. All right. So the guy who used to be the head of that studio, who was the spearheader for EA, went off and made his own studio and said, well, if they're not going to make any more Dead Space games, I'm going to make my own version, the spiritual successor to Dead Space. Okay. And it came out and it was called Callisto Protocol. It was not well received. I played it and I thought it was good. I wasn't in love with it, and I don't think it was as good as, say, like the original Dead Space. But I thought in its own right, it was a good first outing and a good first step towards its own survival horror IP. Sadly, the market didn't feel the same as me. They hated it. Everyone said, oh, this game sucks. In reality, the truth is the game was hard to play because it had a melee combat system that was different from typical survival horror. You had to learn and master it. No one wanted to do that. Everyone just wanted to have guns and blow everything apart. And because of that, well, I don't like this. It's not as good as Dead Space. Well, it's not Dead Space. It's a different game. You play it differently. Is it survival horror? Yes. It's just slightly different. You have to learn something different. No one wanted to learn anything different. Okay? So it got panned. Now, at the same time that Callisto Protocol was in development, EA announces, hey, guess what? We're redoing Dead Space 1. And it almost felt like they did it to spite the original creator of Dead Space, who was making his own game, Callisto Protocol. Like, they were like, well, no, you have no right to try to make a spiritual successor. We still own the right, so we're going to revive Dead Space. So they did. They revived Dead Space, and they did a big remake of Part 1 that basically had better graphics, better gameplay elements, had shortcuts throughout all the different maps. They all connected in one place. They had new things, like stuff that wasn't introduced until Dead Space 2 was actually now in Dead Space 1, which was kind of neat. Was it the best game ever? No. It basically was Dead Space 1 again, only with improvements. But it was still good, okay? So it comes out, and everyone plays. I played it too. I thought it was good. All right? EA announces a few months later, oh, it didn't sell well enough. We're completely getting rid of Dead Space. We're not doing anything else with it ever again. So you already retired it. You laid off all the employees. They went to make their own game. Then you said, just to fuck them, you said, well, we're remaking Dead Space 1 again. And then immediately you're just dropping it again. Wow. So here's what's happened. EA just got bought out by a bunch of investment firms, partially the Saudis, Saudi Arabia, partially some other firms, okay? So now that EA is under new management, what has happened is that former employee of EA, who used to be at Visceral Games, who used to create Dead Space, has made a case, a pitch, okay, that he is pitching to the new people in charge of EA, saying, listen, this franchise used to be very profitable. It's EA's fault it's not. Let us revive it. Let us actually make Dead Space 4, but let us control it properly. Don't fill it with microtransactions. Don't force co-op in. Just let us make the game we want, and this game will be great. So that's what's happening right now. They're not making Dead Space 4. In fact, there's no discussions about Dead Space 4. All that's happening is that there is a pitch to try to convince people who now are in charge of the new EA to revive Dead Space 4. That's it. But the news is like, Dead Space 4 is being revived and it's getting exciting. No, none of that's happening. Nothing. All that happened is that the guy who used to be in charge of Dead Space, who doesn't work for EA, said, I'm going to pitch this to them and see what happens. But people act like it's a giant news story. It's not. Pitches happen in the industry literally every single day. Extreme Machine says, in comparison, Callisto Protocol sold 6 to 7 million. Dead Space Remake only sold 2 million. EA bafflingly thought it would sell 5 million copies. There you go. They had insanely wild expectations. They thought this game was going to sell. I mean, it's not even a new game. Dead Space Remake wasn't new. It was Dead Space 1, again with improvements, but it was still Dead Space 1. If you played it, you already played it. That is true. Tobamaru says, it's like the Deadpool movie. If you make a lot of hype from people, it can convince higher-ups. You're right. But at the same time, what I don't like is how people in the industry blow stuff up to something it's not. They are actually reporting this like, oh, Dead Space 4 is in the works. No, it's not. Not even close. It's a pitch to possibly have a new studio created to start making Dead Space 4 if the pitch is accepted. We are so far away from a Dead Space 4 at this point, it's not even worth talking about. I don't know why people have to hype this up. It must be a slow news day. Oh, we got to talk about this now. No, you don't. There's a zillion games being pitched right now everywhere. We don't have to talk about this one. Maybe if someone at EI says, oh, maybe, then at least there's a story there. There's not even a story. The pitch didn't even happen yet. That's true. Swaggy P says, well, these people get paid for clicks. That kind of stuff makes people click. You're right. They all click and then they realize it's a non-story. It's bullshit and it pisses people off. But you're right. They all got paid for the clicks. Here come the clicks. Here comes the ad revenue. Okay. What else you guys want to chat about today? Again, tag me in chat. Let's see what other topics are on your mind. Here, I'll do this again. And for God's sakes, let's get some support here. Let's get our first sub of the day. We don't have any subs. No subs on Kick. Let's get some. Let's get more than just the one super chat that we got from Tobamaru. Let's get more than just the one membership. And for goodness sakes, can we get a tip? Let's go. I Love Work just did 100 kicks. Thank you, I Love Work, for 100 kicks over on Kick. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's get that momentum flowing. You're out of moral support? Then get your wallet open, for goodness sake. What are you talking about? Am I expecting huge things from EA? No, I'm not. But we'll see what happens. What's the last movie I watched? I Know What You Did last summer. The new one. It just got added to Netflix and I checked it out. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just okay. It was another legacy sequel. You know how every single movie franchise is doing a legacy sequel now? It was a legacy sequel. They brought back parts of the original cast and introduced a new cast, and there was crossover. It was okay. Do I think that the gaming industry can recover and be able to get back to making great games? Uh, the thing is, there is no, the way you're saying it is like they got sick and now they're like weak and debilitated and they can't make good games. That's not true. They can make good games right now. The problem is the people in charge don't care about the games. The people in charge only care about the profits from the games. So instead of saying, hey, make an amazing game, and since it's amazing, then it'll sell well, they say, hey, how do we make a game that makes us a lot of money? And that's not the way to go about art. I'm sorry, it's just not. You can't have the profits come before the quality. You have to make the quality thing first and then hope that via word of mouth and actual appreciation for the quality you're providing to the consumer, that then you get the money. Instead, they'll just pump out the crap, attach the money, method, and then it's just going to work. And it doesn't. What's happening now is that at one point it was working and it has stopped working. These games are now coming out and no one plays them. No one's dumping money into them anymore. Massive losses. And AAA studios, sadly, converted almost their entire development models over to this methodology of money, money, money first. And so now it's like they've almost gotten themselves out of the method of making quality, Like Bethesda, I don't even know if Bethesda will ever make another good game because they became insanely bloated, insanely overbearing, right? The horror stories of the development of Starfield, where someone said they needed a chair for a cutscene, and it took them like 4 months to get the chair from another department. How is that any kind of effective game development? It's not. That's the answer. It's not. It's just a joke at this point. So the way I see it, it's not that the games industry isn't capable of making good games anymore. We've seen that. We've seen the great games that have come out this year. Gems like Expedition 33 or Blueprints or Silksong, right? Just to name a few off the top of my head, the best games of the years for me so far. The problem here is that the people in charge don't care about making those games. They only care about how do I profitize those games, right? Silksong is an insanely long quality Metroidvania that's $20. $20. It's 60 plus hours long. They easily could have said, hey, let's charge 30, 40, 50. They charged $20 because they cared more about the quality of their game and getting the sales out there than they did about making money hand over fist. So now what's happened is the makers of Silksong have buy-in from a very dedicated cult following. People who are probably going to buy whatever they put out from now until the end of time because they have that customer trust, that consumer trust, right? Consumer trust is way more important than immediate profits. Because when you have someone for life, that means that no matter what you do, and even if you make a mistake, they'll forgive you and they'll stick with you. That's what these modern game developers have forgotten. That's what these modern game publishers have forgotten, that their names used to mean something. EA, Ubisoft, Sony, Capcom, Rockstar, right? I keep going. Bethesda. These names used to mean something. When you saw a game developed by that company, that publisher, I know that's a quality game. That game's worth my money. Now you see these names, you're like, what a joke. I don't even know if any of these games that these companies pump out are going to be any good. Now you got to look to the little indies because it seems like the little indies are the ones who actually care about the quality of what they put out. They got to work harder because they know they don't have the budget, the promotion, right? They don't have the money and the backing to be publicly known. So they have to rely on things like word of mouth and stuff to get over. And in a lot of ways, that's sad. And the reason I say that is because these games have been better quality. Clear Obscure, all right, is probably the best RPG that's come out in the last 5 years, if not longer. But I bet Clear Obscure won't even sell as much as like one of these other big ones. It won't. Sad. It should. It should far outsell it, but it probably won't. I would argue, I'm not done with the game yet, but from what I've seen, being more than 2/3 through Hollow Knight Silksong, I would argue that Hollow Knight Silksong is the best Metroidvania game ever made. It's actually the best in class of any game in the genre. It's better than every Castlevania. It's better than every Metroid. It's just that damn good. That's a bold statement, I know, but that's what I'm starting to believe. Will that game outsell Call of Duty, Madden? You see what I'm saying? No, it's best in class. And it ain't going to outsell the big boys that don't even try. That's fucking sad as shit. It really is. And that's the problem. We have this industry standard that's bizarre. Just buy what's popular, don't buy what's good. That's not good. So I don't think when you say to me, am I afraid that the industry isn't capable of making good games? Like they're sick. They got so sick they can't recover and then be healthy again. No, what needs to happen is very simple. The people who are actually in charge, the shareholders for these publicly traded companies, need to say, you're doing a horrible job. We've had enough of your bullshit. We are cutting out the entire upper echelon of management. You're all fired because none of you know what you're doing. Particularly Xbox right now needs that. Someone needs to come in with the fucking broom and just go through the offices, sweeping them all out. Out, out, out. Every one of you, starting with Phil Spencer and then his little group below, the Sarah Bonds and those fuckers, and then even further down, just boom, 3 levels of management, 4 levels of management just needs to be removed. Across the board, not just Xbox, but all these companies, Ubisoft, all this shit. Get the fuck out. You obviously don't know what you're doing. You don't know what gamers want. All you care about is profits and you're failing. Get the fuck out. Then you need to get people who actually know the industry to get into those positions and saying, here, day one, if you were to put me in charge of Xbox, day one, here's the speech that I would make both to the people that work for me and the public. We're going to start making good games again. Right now, we're going to start establishing franchises that you want on our hardware. Halo and Gears used to be that. They've faltered and failed, and that's our fault. But now, we've had enough. We're going to build trust back with you by making great games. And it starts today. No more of this focusing on microtransactions, focusing on Game Pass. We're going to make games you want to play on our console, period. Let's go. Let's get to work. And then actually make those games. It's not rocket science to fix stuff. It's just that that's not what they want. They want unlimited profits. They want an endless revenue stream to fill their pockets. And then they want to cut and run. They don't actually want to make good games for you. They just want your money. And they want to do it in the easiest way possible. Making good games is not easy. It's hard fucking work. And they don't want to do that. They want to do the lowest amount of work, least amount of effort, maximum profits. That's not how it works. Maybe, once in a blue moon, someone gets lucky and that works. That formula is not the correct formula for game development. But they don't put the right people in power. They don't ask the right people. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They do. Again, we will not see an improvement in the games industry unless the management changes. It's that simple. We need a new level of management that isn't just about pumping out the profits. Extreme Machine, no, I don't watch wrestling, dude. I don't know anything about it. I've stopped watching pro wrestling since April. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're probably going to do a combo, Isna. We're probably going to do some new games and maybe continue other games that I've already played on the late stream tonight. I doubt we're doing all new stuff, and I doubt that we're doing all repeat stuff. It'll probably be a combo. Game of the week, come back tonight. Come back on the late stream for that, because he's suggesting some horror games. Come back tonight, and we can maybe look at those. We'll see. Can we make a roadmap of schedule for future improvements to your setup? We could. We could definitely talk about improvements. Like, what Okay, here's an honest question to the audience. Okay? If I right now were to do an improvement to my setup, what would you like to see? Like, what would be the best improvement do you feel? At this point, I feel like everything is working, but I like doing little tweaks here, little tweaks there, new improvements. Is this as a new chair? That's it. Only one person gave a suggestion. Actual green screen and not NVIDIA broadcast. NVIDIA broadcast is actually better than a regular green screen because the green screen doesn't have to block my background. Almost no one uses a real green screen. They're getting everyone's phasing these out. You realize this, right? Like it's old technology. Why would I take 2 steps back instead of 2 steps forward? Get a real desk. All right. So get a desk. Maybe I could get one of these like rounded desks. And that way I could turn. So I have this set up here for the show. And then I turn. I got this set up here for the gaming. Right. And then I could have a monitor here on the actual desk setup for the gaming PC rather than the TV. I could have a monitor on the desk here. That's possible. That might be a good suggestion. I have to find the perfect desk. It would have to be a good one that would fit this space. That would be like one segment here, one segment here. I could put a monitor here, a monitor here. You know what I mean? But I think that desk exists, and I think I could get an improved one. Yeah. Neon light sign doesn't work because neon lights do not record properly at all. I know because I have one. I tried it, and it blows out the lighting. You can't see it properly. So you see how this is? See how that's too bright right now? That's like half as bright as a neon sign. The neon signs get so bright, it's like you can't even look at them. A high quality camera, DSLR or something like that. Well, here's the problem with that. All right, to be frank with you, if I were to get a really high quality camera, I don't know if I'd be able to do what I do right now. What I do right now is I co-stream. One stream goes to Kick at one quality, one stream goes to YouTube at another quality. If I were to add like a DSLR, so now you're talking another really high-end video signal, I don't even know if it would be able to be handled by the PC, just being honest. Like right now, with this webcam or the dual webcam setup that I have, you've seen that there's been some issues with the USBs and the shit. Can you imagine now me actually trying to have a crazy-ass 1440p 4K camera streaming in there? You know what I mean? If I was only doing one stream, one quality to one place, it wouldn't be an issue at all. But the fact that I'm a dual streamer and I'm doing 2 completely different quality streams to different areas actually puts a lot of work on the PC. And therefore, the PC right now is doing fine. But if I were to increase that load, it probably would have issues. So, like a DSLR camera might be too much to ask, to be honest. I know it would. What would that improve? Well, right now you wouldn't see any of this noise that you see right now in the environment. There's a lot of noise. You can see. Look at this. Look at all the noise that's on this frame right here. You can see all the noise, right? So that would be looking better. Obviously, you'd actually have, depending on the quality that I captured the video, you'd probably see more definition, more detail on me and my shirts and the background and stuff like that. And you'd see more detail, obviously, with the face cam when I'm doing gameplay like this. This camera would look a little better. But in truth, my setup is actually better than most. I've seen what other people are doing. The quality of my setup is actually damn good compared to what even top streamers are doing. I could see down the road if like, oh, my stuff really is bad and outdated. But right now, my stuff is fucking good. Okay, compared to what other people are pumping out there. I don't have the best, that's for sure. But I definitely have one that's up there when it comes to the quality of what I'm doing. I agree. The colors would be better with a DSLR. The whole deal with a camera, and I know this because I used to sell cameras in the 2000s, okay? It's all about the size of the lens. The bigger the lens on your camera, the more natural light you're getting into your shot, the better quality. So you could have a 4K camera, but if it has a tiny lens, it might look worse than a camera that's 1440p but has a giant lens. So a DSLR camera with an actual huge lens probably will look amazing. It would just dramatically improve everything. High Tech Operative says, when you get a real monitor, you'll realize how much you wanted that or you needed that all along. Well, we'll see. I mean, again, in order to get a new monitor, I need to get a new desk. You're right. I would not be able to have a gaming monitor here with me with this current setup. I would need a desk that's like a corner desk, but it would be in front of me here. This side would be for the monitor and everything set up here to game. And then this side would be for the podcasting aspect with the set behind me and everything there. And I could turn and use it for various things. I think that would actually be a good thing, but I have to find like the perfect desk that would fit here. You know, it might be a challenge. Hiro Nakamura did a $2 super chat. Says $100 for GTA 6 and future games possible. Yes, it is. It is possible, and it very well might happen. It depends on if the industry will bear it. It's that simple. If people feel like they're getting enough quality out of it, they'll pay it, then the prices will definitely go that high. No, Red Siphon, I literally haven't even looked at the Halloween nominations yet, but I will soon. New monitor, new desk, new laptop. Yeah, the laptop, here's the thing. The laptop runs fine, but legit is breaking. Like the touchpad and everything, which you need to use it, is breaking. It's stupid. Like, this laptop is only used to monitor chat and to do shout outs for contributions. That's the only thing I use this thing for. And I've used it for 4 years? I think I got it in like 2021. And it's breaking. Wow, great engineering, huh? Really great engineering that the touchpad is busting when all I do is move around and do a few clicks here or there every day. Pathetic. I don't know if I need a new laptop. We'd have to figure that out. Like, as long as I have a way to monitor the chats. If I had a good desk and I had the monitors right in front of me, maybe I wouldn't need a laptop. I don't know. Get a late night TV show style desk. Plug a mouse into the laptop. And where exactly would I use that mouse? Right in front of me. I'm not kidding. I have a keyboard and mouse right here. That's for my capture streaming PC. Okay. Then I have the laptop here. Right directly to my right, I have a keyboard and mouse. That's for my gaming PC. There's no room for another mouse. That's what I mean. If I had a better desk that's more area in it or whatever. The other challenge is I need a desk that I can get behind in this cramped area. Like, the door is right here to my office, like right next to me. So I need to measure and make sure that the desk can fit here and I can actually get behind said desk without difficulty, because I probably wouldn't be able to get to it from the door. I'd have to figure out a way to go around all the way, the long way, It would be a daunting task. But all right, so a new desk, which could lead to a new monitor setup and, of course, a new chair. An anonymous tipper says, if you do a creative stream where you come up with a themed set design and you use low-cost arts and crafts, and you put it all together on stream, like a boathouse scene from Left 4 Dead 2 or the haunted hospital, something like that would be awesome. Yeah, but the point is, what's the point? I don't use it enough. Like, right now I'm doing around 3 podcasts a week, right? And I'm also doing maybe about a half an hour to an hour hangout session, maybe the other days. Outside of that, 95% of me on camera is this. Do you see the problem with what you're saying? Do you see a set? So you're right. I could go out there and I could buy a whole bunch of things for a set. I could do all kind of elaborate. You won't see it. So then what's the point? At least with this set, every day I could change the lighting and it looks fresh and different and interesting. Once a month, I just change some background items, makes it refreshed. I change this pretty often and easily, right? And that way, I'm not spending a ton of time investing in physical junk that's behind me, and then I have to store it somewhere when I'm not using it. Don't ask me where I'm going to put it. I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think it's viable for what I do. If I were a full-time podcaster, if I were on camera full-time doing stuff that wasn't gaming, but the whole idea is you remove the background so you can see the game. So why am I going to invest that much effort and time into a backdrop that you're not going to see? If I actually ran a professional talk show every single day, then what you're saying, what you're describing, actually, I feel would make sense. But I don't really do that. Do I see Nintendo making another console like a Wii 2? I don't know what you mean. Their consoles all are just an evolution. Like right now, the Switch 2 is the evolution of the Wii. It still has the motion control aspect. If you want to use the Joy-Cons in that way, you can, but you also don't have to. So it's kind of like an evolution on the idea, because on Wii, you had to use the motion controls for most games. Now it's like an option, right? So I don't really understand what you're asking, Troy. A mini fridge? What on earth would I need a mini fridge for? I don't snack when I'm streaming, and I only drink filtered water, which is sitting right here and stays cold because I've got a good thermos. I don't need a mini fridge at all. A mini fridge is for someone who eats or is drinking things like soda, beer on stream. I don't drink that shit. I'm healthy. I would, I don't need that at all. There's no reason to have that. You guys do realize I'm done with Battlefield and not going back to it for spamming Kick saying play with Mad TV is a waste of everyone's time, including yours, right? We're not playing that game again. There's no point. Well, yes, I drink on the Truck Sim streams. I drink 2 cans. One I bring with me when the stream starts and I go get one halfway through. That's 1 stream a week. You want me to have a mini fridge in my office for 1 stream a week? What's the worst thing about YouTube and what would I do to fix it? The worst thing about YouTube, hands down, 100%, since the day I started doing any content for YouTube, is that they don't have humans who talk to you and try to help you with anything. That's the problem. There's no point of contact. There's no intelligent human you can speak with about anything. If something is going wrong on YouTube, you have to rely on their awful automated systems, their chats, their agents they have working at the other side of the fucking planet that don't understand English, and no one helps you. You can't get help from YouTube pretty much for anything. You're on your own for 99% of the things that YouTube wants to handle. Even if you're a bigger YouTuber, I told you, there was just this guy, Legal Eagle, who someone was outright stealing all the content on his channel and reposting it on theirs. Blatant theft, impersonation. Even he couldn't get YouTube to listen. He's a lawyer. He was like, no, here's what's happening. No, we want you to do this. You don't need that. I'm giving you the information right now to stop the illegal action. No, you still have to do this anyway. What's wrong with you? They don't listen. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. That's my major complaint. If YouTube had actual customer support that cared about the creator, that actually listened to the issue and tried to help them with it, it would be the best fucking website on the planet. But they don't give 2 shits about anything. They just don't. They have no minimal effort, maximum profits. That's what YouTube's all about. We don't want to get involved in anything. We don't want to help anyone. We just want money to roll in because we turned on a power switch today. That's YouTube. Yeah. Daphne says it was crazy. Used to have a guy with YouTube that helped you directly, then they took it away. Well, I had a partner manager with my partner company. The partner company fired them all. So I had no one to work with at all to help with anything. And now there's no one. They don't exist anymore. Even big YouTubers don't have anyone. They have to go to like a lawyer to get help. All right, guys. It's getting late. I just looked at the time. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize. It's been a nice chill podcast. Don't get me wrong. But we do have to end it so I can actually get to the gameplay portion of my stream for today. I am excited to play more Pokemon today. Okay? All right. So I want to say thanks to everyone who was here and chill with me. There will be another podcast on Sunday. We are returning with a podcast on Sunday. Okay, guys? All righty. Thank you all for hanging out with me here today. Thanks for the support and thanks for the chill vibes and engagement. I wish you all have a very good Saturday, and I'll be back on Sunday to do it all again. Another full and fun streaming week here on DSP Gaming. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.